Accused by environmentalists of riding roughshod over European laws designed to protect natural habitats, the government says it is minded to approve a new licence for oil and gas exploration off the Scottish coast. Now, the area of the Moray Firth off Inverness is deemed a special area of conservation. Conservationists fear that the survival of local dolphins will be affected. The environmental sensitivity of the area was underlined when conservationists found themselves trying to save the life of a whale which had become beached. Here's our science correspondent, Julian Rush.
The Moray Firth dolphins attract thousands of tourists every year. A pod of some 130 bottle-nosed dolphins lives beneath these waters, protected by European legislation. On a cold January morning, the tourists have gone. There are only hardened dolphin fans here now.
Morning. Morning, gentlemen. Morning. How are we doing?
Over the years, I have seen an increase in numbers, and I have seen all kinds of amazing activity. Everything you can imagine, from leaping out the water and catching fish, throwing them out.
They're fans who fear the dolphins could be driven away. Now the Energy Minister, Malcolm Wicks, says he is minded to give the go-ahead for oil and gas exploration in part of their protected area.
We are slap bang in the middle of a special area of conservation, and the government seem to be making a trend of being able to rub legislation out as though it was written in pencil. This really must never become an area for oil exploration. The habitat is too sensitive and the animals are too sensitive.
Just how sensitive these waters are made tragically clear to us the previous afternoon.
We were just leaving Shannery Point where we were filming beforehand, and then the next minute Charlie had a phone call that there was a stranded dolphin down on the beach, so we turned around obviously and we came back.
We appear to have a very young sowerby-beaked whale that's become separated from its mother and has beached itself. It's still alive. These animals really shouldn't be near the coast. They normally live in very deep water, and I'm afraid the prognosis for this animal is really not good at all.
We just covered the animal in blankets, made sure that it was wet, tried to keep people away so that it wasn't any more stressed.
Where would its mother be, do you think?
Out at sea somewhere. I've had a good look around and I can't see any adult animal in the area.
If you were to put it back in the water, what would happen?
It would starve to death. It's dependent on its mother's milk and company and protection. Without it, it would die, and it's actually more humane, a lot more humane to do this.
It doesn't matter how many strandings you attend, they're always emotional. It's a heartbreaking event. The police were here very quickly, the SSPCA were here quickly. We were able to calm the animal down, and then the vet arrived and was able to euthanize it.
It was extraordinarily lucky that there were people here nearby who could do something about it, even though sadly the animal could not survive. And it all gives an extraordinary indication of what there is out there in the Moray Firth that we know so little about. What we do know has largely been the work of scientists from Aberdeen University. They've studied 3 generations of the Firth's dolphins over the last 20 years. Each fin is unique, so they know each one by name.
We try and name them often to make sure they resemble their names. So we have Nevis, who has lots of white on top, and he's named after Ben Nevis. And then we also name the mums and calves together to keep them linked. So we have dolphins like rhubarb and custard and porridge and oats.
The question they're considering now: what will happen to rhubarb and custard and all the others if oil and gas exploration is allowed here, in a special area of conservation designed to protect the dolphin's habitat? The Aberdeen team routinely survey the Moray Firth. A government impact assessment, commissioned not from them but from scientists at St Andrews, has concluded the dolphins won't be adversely affected. Apart from oil spills, the biggest fear is the explosive noise of seismic surveys.
Extreme noise can actually cause physical damage, and that's one of the main things that people have been concerned about. But lower levels of noise can also disturb feeding activity, and those kinds of effects will be much more subtle and more difficult to detect.
The oil industry, though, says it's been living happily with dolphins for years. After all, the Moray Firth dolphins are sometimes seen in Aberdeen Harbour, hardly the quietest of marine environments.
We have some very stringent procedures in that everybody has to follow. In fact, I would contend that if we are responsible, which we are, and we have a strong regulator, which we do, then there's no reason why this nation can't benefit both from its natural resources and its wildlife heritage.
The licensing decision is officially one for Westminster, but the Scottish Executive recently passed new laws that allowed it to intervene to stop oil transfers between ships in the Moray Firth to protect the dolphins. Campaigners are hoping Edinburgh may want to spike London's guns again. Julian Rush, Channel 4 News, on the Moray Firth.
And Julian reports that the whale cried just before it died.